This is a very appropriate live, and I am so grateful to my friend here, who is Carla Caldwell, who is going to come and help us um, deal with our mental and keeping our mental in a good place. Because there is a lot of unrest in the world right now. It seems like here's how I like to say it, we can't play baseball with one ball because there are 1,000 other balls behind us hitting us in the back of the head. It's kind of hard to focus and take care of yourself sometimes when there is a tornado all around you. Now, that could be personal, such as me. Everyone knows that I'm dealing with the deaths of my sisters and trying to get justice. Whether it's the world and what's going on with that politically or even in your own community, whether it's family drama, you never know what's going on people's worlds. There can be chaos that is around you at all times. But if you cannot get through those without having the tools in your tool belt, it makes it that much harder. So, Carla and I have been talking actually for a couple of weeks about how we can serve the public by giving them the tools that they need. And I definitely know that I need them um, to keep centered in our brains and our hearts. Because no matter what's swirling around us, you are still in the middle and you are important, and you must take care of you before you can even worry about what's swirling around you, right? So we're just coming on today, and we wanted to talk about how you can stay grounded in times of tension and chaos, and how you can take care of you. So I want to introduce my very, very good friend, Carla Caldwell. She is more than qualified to help us get through this. Hi, Carla. How are you today?
I'm good. So grateful that you invited me to do this. One of the things that's keeping me sane during this madness has been the conversations like the one you and I had about what can we do to support others. So I'm really excited today to have an empowered conversation with you, Laura, and with all of the people who decide to watch us. I want to talk about empowering and equipping yourself so that you can be grounded and proactive self care, especially during this time where there's a lot. So, are you ready? Should we get started?
We should, but before we do that, I want to invite you all, if you're watching us live or whether you're watching the replay, these tips are interactive. So make sure that you get a pen and a paper so that you could take good notes. Also, I'm leaving this replay up. We are currently live on Facebook, but I will be posting this into my groups as well. If you're interested in joining any of my groups, let me know. And I will also be putting this on my YouTube channel as well as my Instagram channels as well, because we need a little more positivity in the world. I hope that that gave you a little bit of time to go ahead and get you a pen and paper. And Carla, before you get started, can you give everybody just a little bit of your background and how
Absolutely.
you are an expert in this? And then I'm just turning it straight over to you so I can take some notes.
Okay. I am a nurse and a health coach. And I have dedicated my life and career to standing health, specifically health behavior change. Over 80% of illness is created by what we do, think, and say. So while I've studied nutrition and lots of ways to prevent, what I've learned is it comes down to what happens between base of both of our ears. And it's not different than today's topic because stress, what we do with our mind when we're stressed, is everything. So, what qualifies me for this is my career. Devoted my time to is to help community heal and also healthcare providers to heal themselves so they can role model this. I'm also qualified because I'm a person. And what I have found very interesting is that I teach stress management all the time, 3 to 4 times per week. And in the last couple of weeks, when stress has gone like this, I've been able to, ask myself, do these methods really work? And they do, but I'm learning that there are a few tweaks that are needed. And that's what I want to share with you today. I want to share with you what are some tools. I asked you to get a piece of paper and pen because I'm going to invite you to start creating a self-care toolbox. Laura said that earlier, toolbox. I love that. Uh, is that good? Was that what you were hoping for, Laura? Does that qualify me?
Sure does, very much so. Especially being human.
Yeah, I do this and I'm human. I'm humanly worrying. Okay, so
Okay,
let's. Oh, go ahead.
I'm ready. I need
Okay.
it.
I want to talk first about the mind, the heart, and the gut. Our mind can be a friend and it can be your worst enemy, especially right now during stressful times. So I want to invite you to remember our mind is not good with what ifs or worry. And right now, what's happening? There's a lot of, oh my gosh, what if? And what if this? What if? It's a good time to remind yourself, oh, okay, my mind's not good for that. I need to turn that off. The mind is good for empowered problem solving, but you need to guide it. So remember that your mind not good for worrying and what ifs because it can you to a very dark place. And now more than ever, it's time to reel in the space between both our ears and remind ourselves that our mind is powerful for problem solving. And the way to do that is start asking yourself questions like, what can I do right now? What is my next best step? My health, my safety, my well being. Those open ended directive questions will help empower your mind to do what it does best, problem solving. Our heart, our beautiful, beautiful heart, is so good for connection and gratitude. In those moments where your mind is going to the what if, no, that's not what the mind is good for. Remind yourself it's good for problem solving. What I might need right now is to go to my heart. Gratitude has been shown through research to help you reset. Reset in a way that's empowering. Use your heart to be grateful. Find something to be grateful for in the moment and use it for connection. So, just like Laura's demonstrating how she's bringing us together, calling your allies, reach out to the people who uplift you, use your heart to connect and be grateful. Gut. Oh. And at any time, if you have a thought on what I'm saying, please interrupt me, Laura, or if anyone has a question, please let me know. Our gut is also really powerful and a good, those gut feelings, really important to listen to them. But remember, when you feel the alarm in your belly and your gut, bring in your problem solving mind. What piece of information's trying to come through. What can I do right now? So I get those three places. They're very powerful if we use them in the best way possible. I really want to talk about getting out of fight or flight. How many of you have felt maybe even reaching a panic state? Too. And it's not good to stay there. It really harms our health. And now more than ever, we need to be proactive. So I want to give some tools. The first thing is when you notice yourself panicking, if you can focus on. Now, what I mean by that is not here, not the what if in the mind. If you can literally ask yourself, where am I feeling this feeling? And identify it. For me, a lot, it's like right here. It's like concrete in my throat. And instead of thinking in my mind, I go here and I breathe, feel. Sometimes, if you can just get out of your head and go to the part of your body and breathe and really focus in that area, sometimes that's enough to get you out of fight or flight. Sometimes it isn't. So I want to give you some other hints. I'm going to give you the best of. So, getting out of what if, one of the great tools is the breath. Remember, the breath is free and no one can take that away from you. Until the day you die, you have your breath. So utilize it. It's yours, it's free. No one can take it away. And when you fight or flight, I want to invite you to use this breathing technique that's simple, thousands of years old, and gets you out of the what if. It's box breathing, very simple. Inhaling into the count of 4, holding to the count of 4, exhaling to the count of 4, holding to the count of 4. And then you repeat it. It's like a box breath. So let's try it right now, okay? Inhaling in, 3, 2, 1, holding, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Holding. 3, 2, 1. Repeating again. Inhaling in. 3, 2, 1. Holding. 3, 2, 1. Exhaling. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And you keep repeating this. This method of breathing gets you into a heart rate variability. I'm not going to get into the science of it, but it's really cool if you like to geek out. It gets you into the optimal heart rhythm for calm. Your body's systems are acting in an optimal way because your heart is beating in the optimal way. So remember that. It's free. Your breath is yours. No one can take that away from you. This is an empowering act to do box breathing. Laura, did that make sense? Did I?
Totally. And I totally did it with you. And you know what's interesting is I have been meditating more and more. I think I've meditated more than I've ever meditated in these last 3 weeks. And that is one of the techniques that they did for my nighttime and anytime I'm feeling anxious. And I like that technique a lot. And it does work for me.
There is a YouTube creator that has different levels. You know, you start with his lowest one is, I think, a count of 6. You work up to 8, The next level's 10. And so I can share that with you because it's 10 minutes of that of guided breathing. And right now, that's a staple for me every morning because every morning, that's one thing I want to recommend. Start your day before you get into social media, before you get into friends and family or those people around you that you're trying to protect and take care of, before they to your sphere, take care of yourself. Start your day in an empowered, peaceful place as best you can. Okay, I'm going to give an even simpler technique next. It's called the sore spot. So we're going to take our right hand over our heart. And we're going to bring our fingers in, and you're going to press with your knuckles. You're going to notice that spot's a little sore. Do you feel that? Okay, that's called the sore spot. And when you're in fight or flight, if you rub this area and you take nice deep breaths, and when I say deep breaths, I mean breathing deep into your belly and then rubbing that sore spot and exhaling through the mouth. So if you can, inhaling in through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. And you keep rubbing the sore spot as you breathe. Sometimes I like to purse my lips so that I can really exhale all that stale air out, because when we're panicking, we do this. We hold all that carbon dioxide. You know, you're nodding, Laura. I've been doing a lot of this the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I've had to, I think I shared with you before while we were discussing this, I have had to remind myself to breathe. And I've also had like pretty much my first panic attacks in these last months. So I've had to remind myself to breathe. And you think that's just intuition, but I find myself just sitting here just holding it in. And it's such a simple thing, but you do forget to breathe when you're in panic mode.
I feel like I'm going to invite everyone to add what you just said to their toolbox. Breathe. I mean, right now, we might need, I don't think you can see it, but look, I have this to remind me, breathe.
Yes. Yes.
Little sticky note, because it does sound simple, but when we are panicking and we're having stress at the levels that we've been experiencing, very easy to forget to breathe. And that creates a dire situation inside and then perpetuates the mental. I'm smiling and laughing not because I'm making light of what I'm speaking about. That's just another coping mechanism, is we can laugh. I mean, what else is there? This is silly. It's so stressful.
Yeah, there's times that I'll just laugh and I'll be like, but that's not really what I want to do. I want to cry, but the laughter will just, it'll come out anyway. Or I'll remember something that makes me smile. In the case of my sisters, I hear my sisters in my head when I don't want to do something. I hear them talking to me and laughing with me about it. So that makes me smile.
Oh, I love that. I love that your sisters are reminding you of that very powerful and empower and equip tool of laughter,
Yeah.
which actually I did want to talk about that, about laughter is there's a lot of research behind laughter. It boosts your immune system, it improves your circulation, it releases serotonin. And if you're wondering, Carla, I don't feel like laughing, this is not funny, what's happening? I agree with you, but please know that the research shows that fake laughter just is beneficial. So this can be a part of your toolbox when you don't feel like laughing. This is actually used in therapy for trauma and anger management. It's one of the classes that I'll teach where I work, and it's great for when you don't feel like laughing. It's still good.
I think
So
it's
go ahead.
interesting that you can, because I have done that. I remember like doing a play one time and we were supposed to laugh and I had to force laugh myself for a scene. And before you knew it, I was really laughing.
I think we should do it right now. Let's fake laugh. Okay, we're a little tense right now. Things are crazy. We don't feel like laughing. And I invite you, as you're watching this, humor me, and let's laugh for 10 seconds. Fake laughter. All right, here we go. Oh, very good. And if you find yourself crying when you laugh, that's very normal. Sometimes we have so much just built up inside, and when we fake laugh or laugh for therapeutic reasons, our mind, body, and spirit's like, yes, it's so you might feel choked up, you might cry. There's nothing wrong with you. These releases are important. So remember that too. If you feel emotional, feel called to cry, um, it's okay. It's a part of the process. And one thing I want to share is as you're connecting to your loved ones, like that might come up.
Oh, yeah, quite a bit.
I felt like I wanted to cry. I was like, stop. You can't cry right now. You can cry in 10 minutes.
I beat you to it. I do that a lot lately, just out of the blue.
I think that's a superpower. It may not feel, but it's better out than in.
Agree.
Okay. Is it okay if I share one last tool?
Oh, yes, please do.
One I love times 1,000. I learned it a few years ago, also thousands of years old, in Qigong. Qigong stands for Qi is energy and Gong is cultivation, cultivation of energy. And there's a foundational practice called tapping.
Yes, I love tapping.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. And if you already know about this and you already, invitation is to do more of it. Do it regularly. And all it involves is your fingertips and your hand. You can either do flat, or I like to bring my fingers in. And you start with the top of your head, all around your face. It's really delicious on your face, especially your jaw. And then you keep going down. So you take care of the whole body, shoulders, arms, chest. This is where we hold grief. So really taking care of this. And just all the way down, back sides of the leg, front of the leg, the whole body. It is a wonderful, when our energy is stagnant, that's when dis-ease grows. Keep our energy flowing for our health. And during these stressful times, I think that's a very helpful tool. I want to say that I hope you'll add items to your self blocks that help you feel better, like songs, movement, nature. What ask yourself, what makes me feel good? And if you're wondering what's the benefit of writing it down, I know. The problem is that when we're stressed, we're like a scared little child who doesn't know what to do, where to turn. You have a paper to look at. Oh, that's right. Go outside. Or, like Laura said earlier, breathe. It's very, that's foundational to helping you calm down, is to have a plan in place. A lot of what we're feeling is made up. And I think that's what makes this scary. I want to encourage you, the more you can stay in empowered action, the better. Ask yourself, what will make me feel better? What make me feel better to have an emergency plan, or to we should be doing all the time anyways? Would it make me feel better if I have food in my pantry, extra food? Or will it make me feel better if I have a plan for how to reach my family? Whatever makes you feel better and more empowered is really important, especially now.
Great, very much so. Because I think so much is that we feel so out of control, that we have to remember that there are things that we can control. You can't control everything, but there are things with around you that you can control, and your reaction is one of those. So what are you going to do to be able to manage your control in your home to make you feel more peaceful and centered?
Absolutely. Yes. And the more time we can spend in that space, now, what can I do next? How can I help myself? Um, I was in a bad state this morning. Sleep last night, and I was just really worried this morning. But knowing that I had this, and knowing that I felt helpful, I think it's very empowering and helpful when I feel like, okay, I got to share. People might need something I have to share. So I'm needed. Let's get it together, Carla. Breathe. Take care of yourself.
Right, right. Breathe is the key word.
And laugh.
Right. Yeah. Because, yeah, that's so good. That's so good. Carla, I appreciate you so much. We had been talking about this for a couple of weeks, and it's so interesting now. I always feel like whenever the timing happens, it happens. Like the first couple of weeks, we just couldn't, just things got in the way. But when things are supposed to happen, they happen. And I'm grateful to you for sharing these with us, and helping to uplift our community, because we need to, I call it, tighten our circles, and really know that you are surrounded by those who really care for you and really have your heart as a best interest. Not everybody does. So I think that's why it's very important for us to be able to continue to share what we know and strengthen our communities as best as possible. Not just for adults, but you know what? Children can feel the tense atmosphere just by being around you. So we want to make sure that your home, at least your home and your center, is a peaceful place where you can go for refuge. So I appreciate you very much. I really do. I just love you so much, and I love the work that you do. I'm going to make sure that everybody has your contact information. I'm going to go back in and make sure that that's listed on our posts. And for everybody who's watching, you need to make sure that you go to her website. She has a lot of tools for you. And we're going to put that up too. And it's also an author. So she has several books that you may want to check into as well. So we will do that. We thank you for watching. Again, thank you, Carla. Do you have anything else that you would like to say before we close out?
I just hope you are kind to yourself and give yourself grace and place importance on taking care of you, um, especially for your loved ones. I've found in this challenging time, I'm a little bit at my family members, my beautiful family members. And so it really drives me to take care of me. So I'm saying that to you all, take care of yourself. You matter. You matter so much. And you can always breathe and you can take care of what you are thinking and you can create one empowered action step at a time. I'm rooting for you so much. And Laura, I just love you and the work that you do. And I thank you for inviting me to do this with you.
Thank you. So, everybody, I hope you took your notes. If you have not, this is still going to stay up. It's going to stay up. So, come back as many times as you need. Reach out to Carla as well if you
Yes,
need.
please.
Please do. I mean, she's here on Facebook and we'll also put her links here, like I said. But until then, before we go, make sure that you breathe. Breathe, Lala. Breathe. Listen, go be a good human. You
Mhm.
never really know when a smile is truly going to save somebody's life. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining. Bye, Carla.
Bye, Laura. Thank you.